Let's see for Nasha for hire for 1GH, and then our first time I buy so I need to know book coin so no I they know I subscribe and say being on this be no should be a notification for so no I be sure things around for be sure more than for so any beauty for me and kind something. A chief just to corners or down na say na a kasa di a Dapaah as I don't know a chairman Kesi pan or national security mono. Aba bontan be warning a ye beka chief justice to kono na some more catch no can say hey e be jawo bias no sade wo chance nyene de bia wodi asama na wodi in favor of NPP amanyuko no all because of say akofa na de oba enti wodi asemi na wodi in favor of a NPP amanyuko no I second Dapaah ni abrepa no can say mugu a Supreme Court na animase sa institution e o mugu animase. Now, one be our senior chief just know or say, Sani mana ebeka, yes, speaker about Barbie about Bontan Becca, Moma, some drink trying, adding and say, I have for your market, Jabedam, Timothy mine, kiki, I say, a dear, a sa a speaker rule or their banana, dear more betias and yadi. Ubia cool school, no, ye checks and balances. Yes, our a separation of powers is near that day. Ubia in the Juma. Enti wontimi emfiri baby a wono sector wono emeka nche me say e was say we ni say was sorry ni say so we good answer na speak ba me e ba bonti beka say de na mo ye na enya me pese mo mu ni say enke be oden kanya mo de so how come say ono ye speaker e wo parliament no o kana asema no bi da ba mo a wo say nka wo ba na nim beka sa asem na channel no wo kan ji speaker na say enya de wo be pre na preacher o chana ye be hwe. Now, the India Magana for us already say, sa LGBTQ plus nearby poppy out Guampuno. Up to now, a almost 4 months near Munya Guampunia, the Emfa home a beyond Babonting. So, then within 2 days, will be 2 days here. A cofa, a minority and majority on same nearby. What may do within a couple of days. I don't know, Kwame Kenya and Bre patches at any answer. No, we no can say NDC for just say almost about pointing a Casanyande omiti the chief justice can also form so because enya dia wo chief justice bet the parliament for enye and have nya dia wo parliament e match the wo chief justice our Supreme Court the wonye e bin si o baby ampo da kam ningo te kwa mi ka ba na de nkontwe na
the read my lips. Mama monitor you and conform kick and conform. Read my lips. Me say, come here, yes, say you are becoming predictable. It appears as though you are becoming predictable. Obi the assembly to monima. Obi better predict. Why have mama ya bet in yado? Ghana Judiciary. I got to bet ya the one. There be a man for be cash out because mu chako a fabi. And I am going to make us same way. Now, no one can say Albert Dapaah. We are national security minister. We be cast same way. Say the musidi asem. I was a Nibia. Muchako fabi. Na safana muchako no. It's problematic. Tiye one can say nenu masem.
A judicial system that works. If you do not have a system, a judicial system that works, many people will simply take the laws into their own hands and misbehave and do what they want. Therefore, in trying to manage the security situation, it is important for us that we do get a judicial system that works. And we are all lucky that in the sub-region, we are perceived as a country where the judicial system works and where you could expect justice. If the interpretation of the law is tilted so much in our favor all the time, people will start accusing the judiciary and will not have the confidence that they need.
It is a maybe a temono, it chabaya femwa power. A man for Besha said, you monsa at netne. Mwa se ni biacho the bedroom rebia omunya chidi ewo mumu wenya mensem weye honorable Dapaah nenu masem eno no ma chirechire mu ewo twika sa amwate na wabra Honorable Dapaah kasa wodi atu tirim no ma menkaka onia emperifo miensa bi eka ye wo TV3 ni odi kan eye Honorable Hassan Suhini wo boni de ni wi no ma me lawyer Martin Pebu we wi na the professor transfer jampo e dia pay so yanko.
The injunction, not the substantive issue, still stuck there. No urgency whatsoever is demonstrated on those matters. But every single case that the executive have showed interest in relation to the work of Parliament that has gone before the judiciary has seen expedited action. And in most cases, action favorable to the government. Alfred, and people say we should not think that the judiciary is beginning to seem and act and look like an extension of the executive, and that when you do that, you are endangering our democracy. But their actions that makes it clear that they are beginning to look like an extension of the executive does not endanger our democracy. I mean, are we being rational? That is why the lawyers will tell you that justice is not enough for justice to just be done, and that it must be seen to be done. And so when it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, you cannot convince a layman, a layman that is a miniature. It obviously is a duck. And let me tell you something. The question that Atefa and others haven't been answering is, what were they seeking to injunct, to serve on the speaker? What were they seeking to serve on the speaker? Before,
so ask that question.
Yes, what were they seeking to serve on the speaker?
The injunction.
Injunction not to do what?
Which was rendered moot by the speakers,
Not to do what? Clearly, an action had to be taken, and we know about the separation of powers. Okay. If you have an issue with an action that is taken by the executive, you cannot injunct, for example, you cannot injunct the executive from doing business. And let me tell you the absurdity. Me, I'm not a lawyer. But you see, I was just looking at the Constitution. I see that you want to wrap me up. I was just looking at the Constitution. Article 78(2). Article 78(2) says that the president shall appoint such number of ministers of state as may be necessary for the efficient running of the state.
Wanna make us a no? Baby a Ghana no. So one for common sense and yadria. One for common sense and do Juma. One shall do how Kesi beba. Common sense in the say. Okoda usumi no so a speaker e bromode asem no betu nanim hwe pani send ye a before ye ade no wo se mi ko bisa brewa enye animu no so no ogina ye ade atamu no ba ye wanyina nkra ne mu antete nkra ne speaker wo hwe efri bra wo mu ye ne speaker wo ye ne bibia se bibini wabaya obetu broni kwakwa atade hodo ye ya na ese speaker foi wose muntungu baabi na yen se ye kuro mu ntade na yen ye no ma se bibifo power the from day one speaker has been loyal to the values culture of this country from day one, and ebana temwom se wo yi atan e dia fa bibi ho a won pre no ho sa na bibifo ye no ma yɛmpere yɛ ho yɛde kwa adwindwin mu yɛbisa aberewa wobisa aberewa na kyerɛ sɛ wode kwa adwindwin mu wode kwa abisa wokɔ bisa nkɔfoɔ mpo a ɔma bɛdi saa dibere ne bi pɛn ɛna afei so wakɔhwɛ nwoma mu amanfoɔ ɔmadi saa dibere ne bi pɛn a ɔma kye ɔma dwen ɛwɔ nwoma ahodoɔ mu na ade akɔ adwindwin mu wabisa wo nyame a wɔbɔɔ wo a wɔde wo to asase yi soɔ saa na nyansani yɛ na adeɛ ba obi a wɔde nafu ɛna nam no obi de hyɛ n'akyi ɛwɔ n'ati kwa sɛ yodom yɛ no saa ni akɔ no yɛ na wɔni ahotɔ saa ni akɔ no wɔhunu ɔni akɔ no a wɔde aduane ma na wɔhunu na ne yam hyehye no He said, "When Nimnia, on your corner barber man, I ye." I say, "Ya, won't be na, sister." I say, "Every day we use our ten, when you know, what you can call for no, who go home call for no, we are ten now go home, unchia, eh? And she should want better, they say, "Oh, when you know, your NPP for party for choir." Some go for ya and say, "Ya, Nana go for the swarm of Begumino, or Mubiano." Go and check their background. Nothing person me for. Because all found now they agree to go for him. But unfortunately, one of my year, I was here for. Now ye munchi, ye munchia, and ye behun yentia moya ne moye. Munchi na tren yentia, mani abra moya mu pay master adwuma. Benso anka inukure kamwa mu pay masters eye yen Ghana for. Yen Ghana for. Yen ye mu pay masters. President Akufo-Addo de. Why ye papa bia? Wo begina ye nim ka kire say boy adwuma no obetima ye. Any man boy adwuma so omehwe man so. Etu ono no enfie 9 pa no wo. After enfie 9 wo kọ but Ghana for no de ye de ye wo ho afebo. Toko no tie me. And I do call level be within the spiritual and physical realms. 2 months here okay. Listen, you don't owe anyone.
Power the fan.
What did you make? You don't owe anyone. And you are here and say, Yamina fan so ma wajuma. Sasa. And yet you obey can was away yet. Near what danger say, you know, yet. And bit of money are 7 about 2 speaker and him. Speaker and 2 go. What say? May quadrille one ba. Mommy 2 days. How many days? Okay, I said 3 and not 2 days. 3 days, I said 2 days. 2 days. I go be my coque, ya never tune and oh, that's what you're born. Me yana member, no pam wabo. And I done yes, sir. And they say, Sano, ya tinas one nante so. Actually, said your nanti and it's here. I'm more down to be nano. A son of my coque kayano. And 1 year nams way. Whether 1 other buyer. But speaker, right honorable about Bagbin, was it mammy the from me and as a miensa. Namin from quadrin dreamu. Na no crowd na na tita afọ ye NDC for the crowd o say eh na papa wa kwadwiri hu say that dwe is say na we say de ene we nya asem bia ye montu a edi na besi. So that is someone who is fair minded. Obi a wo be take decision a wo hunu ba bi o de befa ba mo a mugu asani bia no kamia ye say
abusiafo na tifo ni atensema e kwa minka babo ntiambeka na edifa kenda pansem na betu dwa no so ini atensema kenda pa kan ini ate wonia odima tukono get ma me agese was a good name asefa because say Supreme Court na ya dia mugu Supreme Court na nima se adwen shewu chief doesn't need to say akofo na de obenti bibia no twabo ndc4 na dima NPP4 na NPP4 dibia omunye like omaninje na ndc4 dibia omore ho eno na ke na paye den ababontin abewo ne pa chese enya asem ketwa chese wo gu na nima asefa upon say beka Michael Kwe bi na afedi speaker ba Bible no kwampodo ka say mama me 3 days am van kwadwen ho no kwadwen ho ban no eno masa runi say nkofu sini na constitution kanti wemo eno meet my majority wemo no meet my minority nanzo fa Michael Kwe ebeda ni ma na obonse pu aden o se we there for and as o according to constitution den ezan na nye MB for na date omunti amnu ho na o kan say NDC for a minority so then Bagbin can be afedi akwakwo fancy me brain and me de omo kokko ni adade preku MP for nkwa 3 and I de omo seat vacancy sia kase no we no kan say Martin people kwa den I don't so go chief justice nezo ni mass patch say nyasem gitwa Professor Jampo so ekika bake ye beka Martin people anje say ho nsem nyina no ye kwoti ye ba kwoti anje say ho nyasem gitwa Ghana for say ho china anje say rule ni bekoso no omunyina so mabodom pima ogu parliament atwen ma bekoso na be meet my den ata beka speaker Bagbin chi aso for so meta na chi omo Ghana for it omo hu ni say intention because no so meta speaker Bagbin change nya sing to no we no enal some leaky bi ba point me hu say afanyo markings no Dapaah the incident Dapaah was say kofo ena de odi nanim hu no mduru rasi and be leader ade majority leader inti afanyo markings go amporo qualify kwa so obey ko be leader in NPP amanyoko no o say kofo on the scene or RCC no or no ena we de odi afanyo markings enim adise protocol na no de ko oyede okudisa majority leader no kamni gutisa sofu yeba ne de nkomo twena ide.
This is an action that is reserved for the executive.
People were not happy. So you see that, knowing that, hey, now people are getting up, and so you're beginning to erode their confidence in the justice system, I would have thought that they would have gone slowly. You see, you can come to the same decision, but it's how you go about it. Let the other side come. Because look, the key thing we should ask ourselves is that between yesterday afternoon and Monday, that's the last day they could have sat on this matter. What was going to be irretrievably spoiled was the irreparable harm. You can't just write in one sentence, we appreciate the agency. Hey, is that so? Look at the sentence.
Yeah, that's the order.
We appreciate the agency and special circumstances presented to support the filing of this application. The agency and special circumstances lie in the effect of the impugned ruling, which include, then they go on, depriving the four constituencies that the said MPs presently represent, namely, blah, blah, blah. The said four constituencies much harm. So let's say, let's use the typical. By the time we get in, maybe he would have roofed it. So because of that, Evans can go ex parte before the court, so that if the court assesses all the evidence and thinks, yes, this is a good case, then the court will grant him an ex parte injunction or order, depending on what he wants. It's not only an ex parte injunction. It can also be the stay of execution that the Supreme Court granted yesterday. So the key thing we need to analyze is the urgency of the matter. How urgent is it? And when we say urgent, so what is being destroyed? What harm is being caused in the interim? Yes. So when you bring that to the instant case, as far as I'm aware, Honorable may correct me, I understand Parliament is resuming on the 22nd.
Tuesday, yes.
Tuesday. So it means that yesterday, today, tomorrow, Monday, no business in Parliament, right?
Yes.
So where's the urgency?
They said, oh, you are dancing an Onapo song. If I am dancing Onapo song, yensa. Common campaign hit song. Common danceable campaign hit song. You've not been able to compose. And if somebody has composed a music and somebody is dancing, that automatically makes him a member of the political party that used that campaign song. Does this thing make sense?
Listening.
And so I'm telling you, you see, you can do all manner of things to divide and to break the front of some labor unions, but not UTAG. We are still on strike. You can go to hell. We are still on strike. But
so a normal would do a mabubacho no. Said ye baby a yedru. Yedi to me. Yedi to me no. Say bibia. And they are forgetting say to me no Ghana for na dema omo. And a normal no more yeno ni zunzan no eba Ghana for no so and eba. So Ghana ni a wotu baby and ne amemo 1020 ahokyere edru baby edru na yesade we ebe pay soro ye betra masade we asi okyere ye nyina ebe kɔ mrache badwafie ubisa se ekɔ ede ya se mrache badwafie ye public gallery ye kɔ akɔtena hɔ ni akɔhɛ ni ebe kɔ so ana okyere ya to ya safre nyina ye nyina ye kɔhɛ ni ebe kɔ so e wɔ mrache badwafie papa bisu na osofo di no kam osofo Pastor Robert Moti, yes. Womo ewo youth forum. Emma NDC amanyoko no. Youth forum. Anope ye ni omo ba bedi nkomo. Titiri wo ni esi wo mraso be dwafie. Ene ni omo wo ka fa ho. Medical dia tudwa. Ye nyina ekọ mraso be dwafie. Osofo so obekọ.
Adam tina menko. Maye krado se mekwa ma me man Ghana. and then me constituency I the North Ayawaso. Honorable Alhaji Yusuf Jaja Edayano.
That's right.
And in Sawan Suhum Philibert Salom Fume Adano.
Okay.
Aya adia aha on my Ghana. Any a mutina for yina. Send near Ecosono and ye into my bodom. Na me dom bedemachi ochina ye bodom pim. I will measure Bejamu eho.
But Obi Beka say a quarter temu no quarter we ya ten. Na we ya ten de senka so chen mamra bi e wo my Ghana. Adentina yangugu ye ho na yenhwe emma de quarter na ka no enye adwuma. Osa no Obi Beka.
You on betumi aka but enya on my Ghana na agi atom. I was say what no wo hunu say san krof sa asamiso no eya on my Ghana ma na epa won de see ho. Ena on mampanyin ade ne tumi ade won kotena sa egua no so.
That's right.
Na mo nia me pesa what yase ne say on my Ghana ya ade ba akopɛ ayewo yam pesa ade foforo bi ebesi eno nti ye kotagba nyina ati ehono say nia ekoso no ye ne nye ho ni yam penso ni yanyemonto yanyintomo so say saadi ebekoso esa ne say wo NPP breso wo 2019
Ko
yam papa Mike Okoye agina so ayebi yanti na aden na Bagbin ekoye na ebeba asami
abanyo say NDC kwan o mo fa so ade oye ne abre o man no papa bi so ni abanyo makin adwen.
I mean, to be frank with you, all along, before what you see my Afeyon market as the leader or whatever it is, I'm putting up my Ashwakam was that particular guy. Me who there or you be although that leadership. To be frank with you,
I didn't know.
Oh, or your Dapaah.
The
position now, it is true. Kufwa. Or also sooner no obey to be frank with you undeserved. Entire baby sama that for your markings no don't ask me any question.
And Japan India it doesn't show leadership
on show leadership right
that
or greed, selfishness as against the majority of suffering Ghanaians. Until this time around that this thing should happen. I'm not out now.
That's right.
What chance? Separation of powers. Executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. The Obia or need to bandana this time around. Over there, it's in the Yakada here and this youth forum. First, my chair is the constituents near PC for especially some said them. Oh, let me show. Yakade they or yar on the nana ado no administration. Say kind. These are some of the things that can. Ghana yar on the nanado's administration. What 10 BBA upside down? I bet all about them. Why?
Institutions
just because of our friend then. What will remain in power at all costs, and obey all the e-levy type of a baba, betting tax of a baba. Now this time, that Akonyan, the NDC in Parliament, since a majority in Parliament, we have a chance to obey e-levy, the betting tax,
and the COVID,
and the COVID levy. What's they be 1 pen? Nobody call court because when him there, Nanado, what pack no coffee. One.
It was trying in a call.
Yeah, we are going there. Yeah, and to be frank with you, Honorable Bagbin, the Speaker of Parliament, don't men finding Zago cry.
Sasa because so far one kasa you. One more who one can why you call?
No. That man, the man, me, I've been watching, studying him for quite a long time. Let me get to Masa. The win of NDC in 2008, no, him there, no. As at that time, what offended what's the name? Minority leader.
Okay.
Okay. See the fireworks?
Yeah.
Oh no. When it comes to the law, on him law and power.
That's say we speaker.
Or your speaker. Yes, or your speaker. Whether you're a speaker or not. I want to make sure no. The law on him law no. And before we make any pronouncement or he knows what is going to happen. On him NPP for just like I know NPP for from their forefathers. UP tradition. That's how they are. Abandon Busia no time no. Busia or your prime minister. This time now. Or your prime minister. That's the papa. Or your friend then.
Ceremonial president.
Ceremonial president.
Yeah.
Until ceremonial Apollo what do you 607 or so.
Abujanfoneti for inya tinsema yebeka kwa minka ekankan yembo boyensam so bako erefa da chief untiminda no yebeka yebeka kwa minka echechimdi ntia chief justice so wide was untiminda because of the case nearby no am ejaguni chemsa untiminda erefa yebeka ye kenda pansema ode abetutwa a good chief justice so any masia any warning be or the man so in bias no yena information akote and all kase is an say a supreme a bekan chief justice to kono akofa no MPP ni no edene bainti bibia no dia maybe before bibia no trouble NDC force na NDC for the be made o medin kugu na MP for the medin kunim abrebia just en sema ebe pop out our Ghana and beba no make sure say any people for the be winning NDC for the bed and able losing we no to so na ka se Martin kpebu nso ya den ade onso beki kan sem bi ho video nya ko ya den go tie just na enya asem keto we no ka se reply a chief just the ma ya speaker bamba be fa is a majority and a minority ruling na course no dey as a reply about enya appropriate because enya dey speaker baba bit ma chair the old chief just the one ye in the then after the whole moment na be chire the onu speaker baba bin the onu nye eno na kwa minka jeje ma just enya asem ko Professor Jambo zo den eba ke beka Martin Kpebu insema na oka edegu chief just the nimas no we no kan say aso for so say omosomo ntiasie peso attention ne koso inti niema ekoso no ade ochina no mbede omobohu akwakọ eden akotais biga baba beach endi samanyuko no so echi we no kan say kofonso yeden je kofo the former president no because we have no markings or say ono that aba onyo bikwa owosa mine na idea di ni penny oni sa experience no na one di ni mo say je kofo na de hu protocol sa no ede or the afanya marking score it is or leader they say no or hard just or the speaker court nyani ade just super teachers but what chedi abamba me you know or chan ye behwe I just say nyama ekoso no just say more remi pa okay can say me beat my that share your comment such beat me so share more down for so enye bi ahwe I have 1G Akroma.